Today, we are going to tell an ancient story. The core of this story is actually very simple and it speaks of how a very pure yet powerful emotion can possess enough strength to transcend multiple lifetimes and completely transform a person's destiny. Alright, let us begin with a core question: just how much power can a single moment of pure, total joy hold? Is it really possible for it to determine our entire future? The best way to answer this is to step directly into a Buddha's tale. The protagonists are simple: a man, a chariot, and an encounter that changed his life forever. The encounter in Shrivasti. The story begins in the city of Shrivasti. There was a young man from a noble family driving his chariot, on his way to offer alms and making offerings in the city. To him, this likely felt like any other ordinary day. But this day was different. When he saw the Buddha from a distance, a massive shift occurred within his heart. A wave of indescribable, pure joy surged through him, a boom that completely overwhelmed his being. What happened next was even more incredible. Think about it, and such a brief interaction created such massive ripples. The Buddha responded with only a smile. Yet, the radiance of that smile transcended time and space, warming the cold hells and cooling the hot hells, bringing instantaneous solace to sentient beings suffering there. The prophecy of destiny. The Buddha's attendant, Venerable Ananda, witnessed this and knew the Buddha never smiled without reason. He hurried forward to ask, "World-honored one, why did you smile?" The Buddha's answer was astonishing. He said that because a young man gave rise to such a pure, joyful heart in that moment, an extraordinary destiny had officially begun. The scale of this reward is beyond our imagination. For Shisan great copas, a unit of time so vast we cannot even calculate it, he would never fall into the lower realms of suffering. Instead, he would enjoy heavenly blessings. Finally, in his last lifetime, he would attain the fruit of perfect enlightenment, and his name would be joy. What is a joyful heart? Hearing this, you might be as curious as I am. What exactly is this joyful heart? Clearly, it is not just "I am happy today" kind of mood. Right. To help us understand this profound joy, the scriptures provide some very relatable analogies. It is like the ecstasy of suddenly unearthing a massive treasure. It is the satisfaction of finally tasting a delicacy you've craved for ages. It is the overflowing happiness of reuniting with your most beloved person after a long absence. It is an intense, focused joy. It is like being lost in a storm at sea and suddenly spotting the only lighthouse in the distance. The feeling of "I am saved", of finding an ultimate refuge and a life goal. The subtle difference: appreciation vs. aspiration. However, there is a crucial distinction. A joyful heart isn't just passive appreciation. It contains a fierce will to attain, a powerful longing and pursuit. The scriptures tell us that even within the joyful heart, there are two different paths determined by intent, leading to vastly different results. The joy of appreciation. This is like looking at a sacred mountain from afar and exclaiming, "How majestic and beautiful!" In the story, this led the young man to a high but intelligible level of awakening, a practical Buddha. The joy of aspiration. This is the determination to say, "I will climb to the very peak of that mountain myself." This is the resolve to not just follow the guide, but to become the guide. The choice within. Why does this distinction matter to us? Because everything eventually returns to the power of our inner intent. The highest, most perfect path is not just following the Buddha. It is seeing that ultimate potential and making a vow to realize it 100% within yourself for the sake of all beings. The phrase "the heart to become a Buddha must be established" captures the essence of this aspirational joy. It is not passive, it is a firm, active vow. This leaves us with a final question for reflection. When you encounter truly great people or things in your life, does the joy you feel keep you in a state of pure appreciation? Or does it drive you to make the resolution to become that greatness yourself? Perhaps this choice is exactly what determines the road we travel in the future.